Hey everybody, it's Mike. Welcome back to the stream. We're playing Disco Elysium again today, and where we left off last time, I went to try to inspect the body and failed multiple times. So now I've been given a thought in a thought cabinet here, which is a volumetric shit compressor, and we have to tick off 30 minutes of time to get that to trigger, which I'm assuming will hopefully give us the resolve to finish investigating the body. So we're probably just going to go through and investigate one of our side missions real quick to tick off that 30 minutes. Oh, look at this! I'm sure this will make my friends happy to know that I have 5 sorry cops and 3 boring cops. I guess being a good person is both sorry and boring. Okay. So let's investigate... Can't do that. Well, we can't do that until we do this, because this comes from that. And we could go in and look for the smoker, but we're right here. I told Lena Morale is missing because of the broken water lock. Okay, yeah, so we already did that part. We have to get over the water lock first. So really, I think we need to go around and talk to the lorry drivers. And so let's just, do I want to have this clipboard? +1, authority. Authority is, it's at a -2. I don't have anything in authority anyway, but it might be nice to have those pluses in the others, because I doubt I was probably going to win a roll on those anyway, on an authority roll, because it would have just been a 1. So let's just talk to the lorry drivers and tick off that 30 minutes.
Stuck in the rain in a traffic jam, man. What's on your mind?
Tell me more about this strike. Know anything about the dead man, the one hanging? Like we already talked to. I wish there was a little bit more color differential here, just to be able to see which ones were new. Seemed like a man who would know about drugs. Aw, man, me and narcotics go way back. He folds his hands behind his head and leans back. Had some good times surfing the psychic waves of my own consciousness, you know. But, he pauses, letting the memory dissipate. Those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man? Do you finance those other addictions with drug trafficking? I need to get high, and I'm looking for a dealer. Let me be straight with you. I'm trying to figure out who's smuggling drugs out of Terminal B. I feel like this guy is good, generally a good person. And the Terminal B thing, I just want to be straight with him. Lieutenant steps in. We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor to load it on their lorry and drive it to Jamrock. Alright. Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed towards a conflagration. Wait, why are you still hanging around? Who do you think could be conducting the drug trade then? Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Ravacol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to probe with those questions. Drama? We wouldn't say he's lying, sir. Okay. You do seem... Okay, so I feel like he is not the best. Let's just try this roll real quick. Fail. He's into it. Don't go too far. It seems like a personal matter. Man, you look sad. What's going on with your... Oh, man. I want to know about your soul. Hey, Tommy. Spill the beans. What's troubling you? Hey, man. You really are the law, aren't you? I get that being bluntly observant and inquisitive comes with territory, but certainly doesn't help with conversational skills. That's true. Maybe the full-on direct approach wasn't correct. Okay. Good enough. So we did tick off a little bit of time there. So now we will go on to the next lorry driver. Alright. I know there was that racist lorry driver. It was like picking on Kim. Maybe he's the trafficker. This guy.
Looking for something on?
Oh, it's literally called a racist
Coming
lorry,
to tell me
lorry
to
driver.
fuck off again?
You're a lorry man. What's your stance on drugs? Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body. He takes a long drag on his cigarette. Smell of booze and cigarettes, what's different? Why not? You know where that comes from. Sarmiriza Safre Ilmara. They take the money from our local junkies here and then use it to outcompete us in the manufacturing sector. They know they can't beat us in a fair fight, so they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage. Perhaps it's good to agree, to get him talking. So take it you're not smuggling drugs. Listen, I agree. It's our responsibility to keep this poison off the streets of Revocol, right? That's all I needed to know. Let me ask you something else. Man bites his lip back. It's his lip and drops near a finished cigarette. Alright, nothing from you. Onward. Somebody here has to know. I feel like the only other... There's this old lady, but she doesn't seem like she's going to be smuggling drugs. Let's try this. We tried this once. No response. Okay. Have I looked at that? I think I have. Yeah. Well, that's the only two, like, lorry drivers that I know of. Maybe I need to go play along with the racist lorry driver. Because I don't see anything else. Could talk to this guy, but he's just a he's a strike breaker. Alright, let's just try that. See if I play along what happens here.
Looking for something on? Huh? Coming to tell me to fuck off again?
Why not? Listen, I agree. It's our responsibility to keep the poison off the streets of Revocol. Hey, he eyes you warily, unsure how to respond. This goes on for about 2 seconds. Then, it didn't work. You should have signaled you're a nationalist before. I don't know. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. He puffs on a cigarette. Then what are you still hanging around here for? Most camioneers? Maybe that's a truck driver? Whoa. Or what do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking around at night. If they touch my stuff, the bosses will be on my ass like... Oh my goodness. There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby. Did see one lorry with the trailer doors open on my way here. Do you know what happened? Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved his country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Whirling and Rags when some people smashed his lock and took all his stuff. Lost his job over it. Takes a long suck on his cigarette, appearing to savor the taste. Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to. They were getting drunk inside the Whirling and Rags. How could they know who broke in their lorry? That's a good point. If you all were at the Whirling, how do you know? Yeah. What, aren't we allowed to say that it's the Kips who did all the stealing around here? It's not rotor science. Oh, I wonder if rotor science is their stand-in for rocket science. Probably. Alright. If it's not you, then who's running drugs out of Terminal B? Alright, sure, let's see. Isn't it obvious? He spits on the ground. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't be surprised if he was peddling drugs as well. Who's that? He's the guy who likes to pretend he's some kind of businessman. Really, he's just selling his employer's stuff he stole after broke the seals on his Monox lorry. Where do I find him? Just follow the smell. It smells like apricots and oil when you're nearby. The lorry man lets out a raspy croak. Yes, yes. Where is he? Looks like I offended your partner there. He doesn't look at the lieutenant. Too bad. He's usually a little south of here near the canal. Oh, so it must be the guy. I wouldn't be so sure about it, not until we've heard what he has to say. Sai Ling. Guess we need to go pay Sai Ling a visit. So I guess he is this guy down here that we, a couple streams ago, went into his area and he like sells a bunch of stuff. This guy. Sai Ling. You see a Samaran street vendor surrounded by a motley assemblage of goods. When he realizes you're looking at him, his face breaks into a wide, welcoming grin. The name Sai Ling is embroidered over his breast pocket.
Happy shopping, officer. Everything's cool here.
He gives you a thumbs up. What's cool?
Everything's cool. The goods are cool, the customers are cool, the place is cool. And one more thing, officer.
From out on the bay, a cool wind gathers and seeps into the city, tugging at the textiles hanging around the stand. Some distances away, the sound of a tin can clattering across the street can be heard.
You're very cool.
Ooh, I am cool. I'm not a boring, sad cop at all. Oh, give me the finger guns. You feel a twitch in your index fingers. There's a finger shootout of brewing. Oh. That's got, yes. Whip him out.
Don't shoot, officer. Have we got an arrest here, or just a shakedown?
Just a shakedown.
Good one, officer. You're a funny guy. Now, what can I do for you?
He nods towards his shabby wares. This isn't a joke. Give me your money. I need the money. That's funny. Just kidding. I'm really here to shake you down for some answers to official police questions.
Then fire away, officer.
I got a thought cabinet for finger pistols. 9mm. That's awesome. That's funny. I'll look at that the next level up I get. Alright. Then fire away, officer. He settles back into the pile of boxes he's sitting on, getting comfortable. Where are you from? Me, it's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm all business now, all Revocol. This man probably comes from Sigay, sometimes known as the Apricot Suzerainty, an archipelago in the Samaran Isola. From the Apricot Suzerainty, right? But you're not local, are you? Better not to mention, sounds good. Let's... I don't know, let's see. I think it's probably just best to leave it alone. Very cool, I like your style, officer. So, Sai Ling, what's your stance on drugs? I can just persuade him to give me some money. I don't need his money. He probably needs it more than I do. Drugs, for a moment, he's unsure how to respond. I don't go in for that, officer. Drugs ruin lives. Unless you're into drugs, of course, in which case drugs are excellent. He kisses his fingers. Tasty, tasty drugs. Oh my gosh. Actually, I don't like drugs. Proceed. We're looking for a lorry driver who is transporting drugs out of the harbor. He or she is in this traffic jam. That's so cool. You're investigating the local drug trade like some cool narc. But he points to the goods. I'm not a lorry driver. I'm just a street vendor. I don't know anything about that. A blatant lie. Yet he tells it with such conviction. We'd believe him if we didn't know much better. But you are a lorryman. Another driver has identified you and your lorry. Who said that? It's the racist, right? I bet it's him. He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant who works harder than he does. He's a hater. So you admit you're a lorry driver. No, I just said I work harder and he's an asshole. He stops to think, realizing he can't get out of it. Smart man. Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too, a little, but that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream. He spreads his arms. So you forgot to tell me, so you're embarrassed to tell me. Stop squirming. What do you know about the drug operation at the harbor? Siling, my sources tell me you're the one transporting. Ah, I think he was embarrassed. He didn't want to tell us he was a lorry driver. No, I just forgot. It's such a small part of my life. It's the rear view mirror now. I'm climbing out of that hole with ingenuity. Stop squirming. What do you know about the drug operations at the harbor? I don't want to... That seems very forceful, but I don't want to just accuse him. I'll just... Okay. Stop squirming. Nothing I told you. I'm not a dumb guy. I don't get involved with that crowd. And what crowd is that? Crowd, you know, the drug crowd. No, he wasn't talking about an abstract crowd. It was that crowd. That's funny. It wasn't some drug crowd. You know who they are. Tell me now. You're wasting my time. Tell me who is transporting the drugs. Okay, if you don't know, then I'll tell your employer you've been selling his stuff. Okay, let's start here. It wasn't some drug crowd. You know who they are. Tell me now. Shh, shush, please. He looks around and lowers his voice. There's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please don't get me into this mess. I've spent 15 years working my way up. Here we go. That's a tiny bit of truth on the table. Zoom in on it. If you don't want to get into this mess, raise your voice. You have to give us a reason to move on. We're buddies, Siling. Help us out. No one will know it was you. Yeah, let's do that. We're buddies. We played finger guns together. It's a she, okay, he whispers. The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, she shakes his head. She's no lady. Interesting. Oh, that's funny. Really did say interesting. Interesting. Could this driver be connected to the Hardy Boys? Who are these other drivers who talk? Is the lady driver the old woman back there? Points. Yeah. Yes, that's good to know. Could she be associated with the Hardy Boys? Who are the Hardy Boys? I've missed something there. Let's see. Who are the other drivers who talk? All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know. Are we cool now? I really want us to be cool now. Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours? The racist or the other one with the tattoos? He points north. All of them, even the ones who've left. I don't hang out with them. I don't remember who has tattoos. Is it the dazed out person? I don't know, maybe. If she is, I haven't gone near her. I don't get involved. I told you. He's not ruling her out. That's good to know. Could she be associated with the Hardy Boys? I don't know. I'm not local. I don't know anything about that. Okay, we're cool now. Alright, he snaps back to his usual self, ice cold. Let's cap this off by a purchase, you know. You can walk away from here with the funky sunglasses, detective. Both of you deserve it. Aww. I can't afford funky sunglasses, dude. I gotta start saving money for my bed tomorrow night. Okay. So now we have a lead. The jam mystery. Find out who's the lady driver. Where it's her lorry. Onward. Okay. Do you know tell me about the lady driver.
Still here, stuck in this damn jam, my man.
That one of the drivers is a woman, but I don't think she's here. Do you know this lady driver? He shifts around, suddenly uncomfortable, then looks away. I don't want to talk about that. Why? Do you know something? What is it? I don't know. I don't mean to pry, but I need your help. She may be involved with the drug business. Alright, let's just be honest. Man, I was hoping it isn't going to be her. He bites his lip. All I can say is she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some evil drug trafficker, and I don't know where she is. I asked you who's conducting the drug trade. You said you didn't know. Now you're saying you do. That's just, I don't want to point out his past transgressions. Who is this person? What's her name? Thank God I don't know. People here call her the lady driver. She kept her name a secret from me, too. Now I see why. Who is she to you? A friend? An acquaintance? I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. She's someone I don't want to rat out to the law, okay? What does she look like? A youngish woman, gruff, but in a cool way. Oh, we're getting close. What color hair? Blue and violet dyed. He answered reluctantly. It was violet when she got here, blue when she left. Blue before she went. Then she may have dyed it again. When did she leave? Damn, I don't want to... He looks at you straight in the eye. Please just let it go. Whatever she did, it can't be that bad. She's not a bad person. I know that much. You can't just let it go. It's part of a police investigation. That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All parts of an investigation. He shakes his head. The girl's troubled. If you hunt her down, she may not survive it. I can't have that on my conscience. It won't come to that. We won't pursue her on this. This is information only. I don't believe you. You said she's troubled. How? Believe us, it really is. You said she's troubled. She's got the darkness in her. The younger person's darkness when you think it's all over and you're looking for a way out. She shared this with you? Yes, which is why I don't want to snitch on her. It's not snitching, it's just a few questions. Come on, man, life is just a joke. I was told everyone's afraid of her. You're not? I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked, and she told me, too, that she's had a violent life, but I was afraid of her. Wasn't afraid of her. More like for her. Did the violent life include drug trafficking? Well, he sighs. It looks like it did now, but we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know. She talked about her mind. Hold on, her mind? And she left, did she leave her lorry behind? Hold on, her mind? The way it worked, the trouble it was giving her. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of other drivers here who couldn't stand her or were afraid of her. They'd be more than happy to rat her out. That's right. There are other options. The race man for one. The gray-haired woman, maybe she knows something. Wait, this guy says they're friends, then acquaintances, and he's okay with others ratting her out. So you're right. So you're alright with others ratting her out, you just don't want your hands dirty. Put yourself in my shoes. I need this for another investigation too. It's important. I can't blow it. She's a suspect and I need you to tell me where she is or I can't finish the investigation. Fine, I'll drop the matter for now. Alright, so you're alright. Fine, I don't want to be a butcher, and I don't want to be a knight either. I just want to be a person who can sleep at night. A little fame wouldn't hurt too. Suspect, I need you to tell me where she is or I can't finish the investigation. This guy knows her, obviously. Do I find another way, or do I just force him? I think we need to force him. I thought you were a different kind of cop. Something breaks in him as he stares at your eyes. Where is the lady driver? Here. He takes a keyring from his pocket, then looks at it before giving it to you in silence. The keys to a motor lorry, pretty complex, looks like a chain lock. Then he gives them to you. Her lorry is still here, down past the statue of Philippe. He waves towards the monument. The cabin is green. You can get in there with these. That's all I know. When did she leave? Last Friday. He blinks, his eyes half empty. Now. Anything else? Like, where is she now? Nope. No, I do not know. Why did you have the keys? She left them to me because she trusted me, so I can get it out of the way when a jam breaks loose. Otherwise, he doesn't finish the sentence. The other drivers would have to tow it or break in to get the machines moving, he nods. If they break in, they would find what's hidden inside, something incriminating. Sorry I had to do this. I bet you are. One more thing about something else. Nah, I need to think my own thoughts now. Pray forgiveness for my sins. Go check your cabin. I hope it gets you something. It helps someone. It will. It will help. Fairly certain of that. Hey, that was probably like my first cool cop thing. No, I didn't even get credit for it. Good cop, bad cop. I wonder what that means. I've killed... Oh, that was already... I haven't killed anybody in my game. I'm an ultra-liberal. Remember taking a lot of liberal things. Alright, fair enough. Alright. I might be able to go investigate the body now. Bizarre scientific news from Revocol West today, where a police officer shit has been observed at a pressure of around 495 gigadecimals. These metallic hydrogen levels of shit togetherness were thought to exist only at the center of a collapsing star, not law officials. It remains to be seen how long the shit singularity lasts. All endurance white checks unlocked. Learning cap for endurance is raised to 4. So wait, this just lets me, like, roll it again, huh? Well, that's interesting. Inspect the victim's body. Alright, should we go to the motor lorry first and kind of just finish that out and then go to the body? I feel like I've been putting off the body for a long time. But we are right here at the lorries. Might as well do that first. Oh, that's it, I guess. Abandoned lorry, the screen fallen AZ Contemporarian is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days. This is the one our man pointed to. Lieutenant peeks inside. Try to peek in the window. Try the door handle. Unlock the door with a key. Let's peek in the window. The glass on the side of the window is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the shape of a seat and 2 steering levers. Try the door handle. Door is locked. The handles look shiny. I guess they're recently replaced. Interesting. There's no picking this lock. The owner has put special care into it. It's a recessed design. Unlock the key. Lock with the key. Push the key into the lock and turn. It makes a cracking sound. Then the door pops back a few centimeters. You can just open it. Smell of cigarettes and perfume welcome you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals. There's something odd about the passenger seat. The seating fabric has been pulled tight over the lower side of the seat where the toolbox should be. Let's admire the posters. These are movie posters featuring starlets from long forgotten films from the 20s and the teens, even the 90s of last century. One of them particularly catches your eye, a centerfold of an I don't know how to say that word, attached right above the back seat. There's definitely perfume in the air. It's spicy. The hint of ombre wafting through the bitter air of the cabin. Stop and wonder, what's that smell? Study the centerfold. Enough of the posters. What's the smell? Remnants of a sweet juniper-scented perfume, probably Granat number 5. Study the centerfold. Actress is draped in a sheath dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past the camera. This is Teep Tijon, starlet from Dawn of Cinematography, less known for her talent than her tragic, untimely death. What happened to her? She wasted away in a drug den called the Door to the River, not far from here on Boogie Street, a mixture of cocaine and morphine. She was afraid of the world and the camera too. Oh, enough of the posters. The actress and the rare actor all smile you a warm goodbye A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard. Toolbox sits under the driver's seat. Alright, let's look at the radio. Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady driver. The lieutenant leans closer to the radio and hums, "Strange, there are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least. It has to be an advanced model to fit so many frequencies next to each other without blending them together." It's cool. What about Speed Freaks FM? Is it one of the saved stations here? Why would anyone save so many radio stations? Is there anything we can do with the radio? That's the one that Kim likes. No, that's on 78.9. He stops coughing awkwardly. Raise your eyebrows. What? I happen to have committed the frequency to memory. I have no problem admitting that. That's funny. Why would anyone save so many radio stations? For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. He flicks a switch on the radio. This is all shortwave, W and UKV. Looks like we're dealing with an impressive organizational tool, the nerve center of a huge operation with quite the range too. A 20-kilometer radius at least, perhaps extended by an attachable antenna. That's not here right now. Okay, so the antenna is not here. Is there anything we can do with the radio? Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without the dial key. What else is here? Okay. Check the pedals. Wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle. Sandpaper adds extra grip. Looks like the driver has glued a piece of sandpaper to the throttle to offer some extra grip. Sandpaper, the lieutenant repeats, a novel technique. The sandpaper would also rub off the pattern from the driver's right boot sole. Ooh, that's a good point. Yes, he likes where this is going. One of the footprints at the crime scene had an aberration. One sole was smoother than the other, which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching. The lieutenant's eyes light up behind the prescription lenses. And she's also the one running the drug trade. What a handful. First the drug smuggling, now this. How deep does this rabbit hole go? Women, shake your head. Always up to something. She's also the one running the drug trade. First the drug smuggling, now this. How deep does this rabbit hole go? We've identified one of the footprints, but there are still 7 to go. He writes something in his little black notebook. The movie stars sit smiling from the walls, but there's something strange about the passenger seat. Radio transmitter sits on the center console. Pull-out toolbox lies hidden under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals. Peel off the cover of the passenger seat. Let's do that. Voila! A stack of neatly folded papers has been stashed behind the seating fabric. You see 3 maps depicting a large metropolitan area, its Ravicol, some of its routes and highways have been outlined with a pen. Don't know how to say that. Bon Presse, the lieutenant commends you as you shift through the treasure, well worn and folded into neat squares. Fold open the topmost map. This large map displays the elevated motorway called 8/81. The intake leading to Martinez is marked with a blue X. There's another X, the off-ramp, at a place called the Old South. Toll booths at the intakes are marked with a circle. It looks like there are a scant few ways of getting onto the elevated motorway that runs over Jamrock, and this person knows them all. There, hundreds of thousands of motor carriages roar on 881 highway, on the 881, high above the mass of brown and red roofs that is Jamrock. The commuters don't even look down. The world ceases to exist outside the windshield. Where does the road lead? To Coron, through the middle-income neighborhoods there by the river, and then to Stella Maris and La Delta for work, while the men and women of Jamrock scuttled to their fates below the road. Fold open the second map. This municipal map from the 30s displays a complex system of storm sewers underneath the sub-district called the Pox, Old Military Hospital. right adjacent to the 41st Precinct. Wind rips through the empty hallways of the once great military hospital, now just a ruin under an overgrown park. That's interesting. Beneath the hospital, great sewer tunnels hum and vibrate with life of their own. What's that sound? The rattle of motor carriages and lorries driving through the long-forgotten tunnels lit by gaslights. Look at the third map. The final map displays a labyrinth of service tunnels left over from the construction of motorway 881. A few routes have been marked with a pin there where the tunnels and sewers surface near the eminent domain and a traffic island in the central Jamrock by the lake. These service tunnels were probably used during construction of the foundation beneath the motorway. Despite the cold, figures move cloaked in shadow, their breath escaping in white clouds that fade into the darkness. Wherever you look, the night gives cover to her messengers. Oh, that's good. I'm succeeding here. Have I failed any of these? I guess it doesn't tell me. Where are they going? They travel from imminent domain to perdition and onto the main. Over the River Esperance on Route 881 to the Old South. The exit ramp is supposed to be shut down, but there's much activity. Interesting. The road spreads like the tentacles of a great octopus. Looks like the smugglers have infiltrated the road network belonging to the East Motor Tract. Smugglers have infiltrated the motor tract. So it would seem, the lieutenant examines the maps with a furrowed brow. The RCM patrols most of these auxiliary roads, although apparently not all of them. Where does the contraband end up? Who do you think is behind this? Does the contraband end up? Hard to say. This distribution network looks certainly large, yet still vague enough. It doesn't reveal much about the Besmerti behind it. Besmerti, that sounds very familiar. Besmerti is a Revicolian crime syndicate. They see themselves as the inheritors of the 14 Revicolian Indo-tribes, but really they're just violent gangs vying for control over the west side of Revicol. With cool names, he adds with contempt, like La Puta Madre and Ahura Mazda. It's a dark parody. Who do you think is behind this? It's definitely not the Union. They just do some logistics. This operation has spread everywhere in Jamrock. If it's that widespread, then Madre remains the most likely suspect. He's bad news. The lieutenant removes his glasses and polishes them with a handkerchief. There have been attempts at a serious investigation before, but they haven't ended well for those involved. Alright. Lieutenant nods. Best not to disturb the scene. I'll have forensics go over the lorry and pick these up later. Stacks of map look like just before, barely noticeable. The movie stars look silently by, and the pull-out toolbox has a rubber handle, worn from years of use. Pull out the toolbox. A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper. Unfold the newspaper. It's an issue of Peripherik from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages. Pick up the note. It looks like an article ripped from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the ULAN frequency system. The lieutenant leans over your shoulder to examine the note. The ULAN frequency system. I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but his thought trails off. Huh. Do we not want to read the newspaper? Huh, alright. I think that's it. Close the door. Great, I think we got everything. A word detective, he steps away from the lorry before we return to Joyce. Okay, so we need to talk to Kim.
All right, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep.
Alright, seems like something police would do. What do you think of all this, Kim? Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. Evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net. This means it's well-funded. Technology like that, a major player must be financing it. I'm not sure what the ULAN frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks. Oh, and the maps we found, they reveal the geographical extent of the operation. Looks like they've used abandoned tunnels and access roads to stay hidden. This is useful info. What about the movie posters? How do they factor in all this? How do you think this is connected to the Union? Will the RCM open an investigation into this? What about the movie posters? As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade. A lot of women there, especially for a lady driver's cabin. Maybe the trader is some kind of cinephile? Yeah. Yes, well, he doesn't say more. How do you think this is connected to the Union? We didn't find anything conclusive linking them to the smuggling operation, but somehow I doubt that Everard Clare would be oblivious to something like this happening right under his nose. My suggestion is we use it against the Union in any way we can to our own ends. It's a slippery eel, but we just might be able to pin them down indirectly down the road. In short, this is a further angle, possibly a good one. Will the RCM open an investigation into this? We should return to the murder case. We see what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we're done for the day, I'll call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation sometime later when we're done here. Do not want to get caught in that. He stops to think. What are you thinking? The fact that no one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madre group is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome. Corruption? He nods. All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either. Okay, debrief over. Debrief over. Huh. So I wonder if I should take that back to Everard. Maybe I can use that to help get my gun. Okay. Now we're gonna go try to investigate the body again. For I think the third or fourth time. Alright. The Hanged Man, there he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now. Let go your nose without throwing up. Alright, I got a +6. Yay! As you breathe in, the odor comes over you. It's a spell of the mind telling you to run and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your hands at your sides and your eyes squinting, you stand in it. It's a puzzle. What's hanging in front of you is a puzzle of decaying flesh, tattoos, and tendons. This delicate machine ready for the picking. Instinctively, you crack your fingers. Do they always do that? Step closer. The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants. Enameled boots, his skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins, and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders. The cargo belt used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength. Start with the boots. The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. A fine array of interlocking plates covers them. Delicate and fragile, they feel alien to the world around you, out of place somehow. These are clearly not boots, they are armor, possibly a part of a larger set. These aren't just boots, are they? This is the armor he was stripped of. Indeed. With his notebook under his arms, the lieutenant crouches to inspect the soles. Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots. Oh, the lieutenant uses a The lieutenant uses a Mnemotechnique A6. That's not just any notebook; it's a classic. Oh wow! He uses a notebook, a fancy notebook. There's some big words in this game. Forget about the notebook. Tell me about the armor. That's funny. Huh? Oh. Alright, forget about the notebook. Tell me about the armor. It's clearly some manner of super armor or future armor. Super future armor. I'm useless. Thanks, Encyclopedia. I appreciate it. Alright, what kind of armor is this exactly? Ceramic plate, zirconium. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is where the make would be. Where? It's on the foot, right? Wasn't he bended down? Under the heel. Fair weather. He turns the boot slightly. Fair weather model T50/VE. Guessing that's vitreous enamel. Vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff. Where's the rest of it? Scavenged by the locals. Material looks out of place here. Knock on the boots. Pull the boot off. Where's the rest of it? He nods piece by piece. He's been out here for 7 days. It would be odd if they didn't. Oh, there's the rest of the armor. New task. We should keep a lookout for these pieces. The armor could yield information. He nods towards Kuno, who's eyeing you suspiciously. This is one thing he might actually know. Oh, good. Joy. Get to talk to Kuno again. Maybe he was just wearing these boots and there is no rest of the armor. I found that highly unlikely. No, I think he had something precious underneath the clothes. They had to remove the jeans and shirt we found to get it, and this kind of armor is often worn under fabrics. Interesting. Nice, that makes sense. What if they told him to strip before they hung him? To demean him, he could have been walking around naked, just like... it's like this. No. They usually hang them completely naked for that. La Puta Madre, the Mazda, the Bessermites, and the like. This one still has his underpants. Kuno. Clearly Kuno would like to interject something here, but there's not enough for him to hold on to. There's the rest of it. The material looks out of place here. It is. It's expensive. The lieutenant draws a line in the condensation on the ceramic with his index finger. We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabulary deemed it too costly. In that time, we've lost 6 men to semi-automatics. How much are we talking about? For a full set, about 4 years of wages. Whoa. That's a lot. For the northwest region of Revocol, an officer's average yearly income is 5,500 real, unadjusted for rank. Wait, my yearly pay is 500. 5,500. Ka-ching, baby. Nod to the boots. That's a lot. Yeah, that's what we should say. As a wage, it's regrettably small, but for a piece of hardware, yes, that's a lot. How could this man afford such expensive hardware? That's for us to find out. He checks his notes. Mr. Gart implied he was security personnel for the harbor company. This confirms my own assumptions. They look pretty advanced for security guard. Short report. Just something I scraped together from my station, an area report on Martinez. I'm sure you did the same. Yes, I'm sure I did as well. These look pretty advanced for a security guard. I agree, this equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford. Knock on the boot. A small bell-like sound fills the air like tapping on the side of a porcelain cup. Sounds fragile. It's anything but. The material is kinetic. It's a kinetic redistributor. It spreads kinetic energy horizontally from the plate to plate, dissipating it entirely. He points to the boots. See? The faint organic lines covering the plates where they separate into smaller ones. These plates then divide into smaller plates until there are hundreds of them all together. Like whorls of floorboards, the design looks organic, influenced by highly resistant wood materials like lignum vitae and ebony, perhaps. What does this remind me of? If trees were made of porcelain, this is what their cross-sections would look like. Put your finger over the lines. The smooth, glossy surface fractures into ever more intricate interconnections, peaking on the right subbaton where you notice. The whorls are in the shape of a letter and number combination, E50.100.1000. It's like a serial number on the right sabaton. Point to it. Oh, this is a trivial one, but I crushed it. Good, can you read it to me? He tips the drawing ball point of his pen on He tips the drawing ball. I've never heard it called the tips. He tips it. That's interesting. He tips the drawing ball point of his pen on the tongue. New task. Run the number on the victim's armor. We have a make and a number. That's something. We can use the radio in my kinema when we're done. Either station can chase it for us. Should we pull the boot off? I don't know. Maybe? Let's pull the boot off. The stench fills your nostrils as you push downward. An ominous creaking sound comes from above. Stop. The lieutenant voice is sharp. Looks at you with the boot under your arm. He's gonna pull his head off. Brutal. Lieutenant, you seem distressed. Oh, that's a bad idea, isn't it? Let go of the boot. What's wrong with you? Why is he letting go? I don't know. I don't know why he's... Blah, blah, blah. Officer, if I may ask, what were you trying to achieve pulling on the foot? Don't know. I just thought maybe there was something inside. Cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt. Its torso covered in tattoos. Extremities blotched pink and blue. Alright, let's inspect the belt. The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt to the branch. This is a steel reinforced cargo lashing belt. Big brother of the regular cargo belt. Ooh. It's used for tying cargo under 6 rotor airships. Wow. Don't ask me how I know, but this is a lashing belt used for airlifting cargo. Airlifting? I thought it was used from lorries for strapping cargo on them. Apparently this is the reinforced kind for air transport. My brain tells me so. That's funny. He nods. The local harbor uses 6 rotors to shuffle containers around. I get the sense they used whatever was on hand without paying much attention to not incriminating themselves. Alright, so it probably comes from the harbor. We're assuming dock workers from the harbor did it. They sure wanted him to stay up there. That rope is reinforced with steel wiring. How did they even get him up there? We're assuming the dock workers did it. I'm still approaching this as a lynching, yes, motivated by the ongoing strike. He politely raises his eyebrow. You? Makes sense, believably mundane. I feel like it was something else. Don't ask me, I'm just lumbering from one moment to the next. I feel like it was something else. Yes, he covers his nose. It often is. The belt worries me. They sure wanted to stay up there. This thing is reinforced with steel wiring. I was afraid it would be. He rises to inspect the noose. Thin steel wiring, parallel strands. This makes getting him down more problematic than I had assumed. How did they even get him up there? A noose is one of the things that's easier to use one way around. He points to the buckle, tying the belt to the branch above. Did they climb up using the kid's ladder? That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either. Did you? I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt to close the buckle. He makes a pulling motion. Possibly. Could be. The shape of the branch supports the theory. I see what he's saying. We're assuming dockworkers, blah, blah, blah. Alright. Let's look at the tattoos. An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso from right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart. Is this a map of the night sky? Is this a microelectronic system? Is this a national pattern? Night sky, a map of the stars. He turns around to breathe before inspecting it closer. Do see some similarity in astronomical charts. Great Century Messian, maybe. This seems more particular, customized somehow. As if someone left out most of the night sky, filtering it through personal choice. The principle of this filter remains unknown to you. The thought dissipates and you feel as though you were only half right. I'm missing something here. So am I. A sudden ringing fills the air as the lieutenant pulls down the zipper of his orange jacket. Ooh, I wonder what that is. Hang on, I'm gonna get a drink. He wears a wide leather belt around his waist and gun holster under his arm. Takes a thin piece of milled aluminum from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears, some sort of camera. What's that? The lieutenant work. An instant color camera produces two metal capped ampules. Clicks them into place on the side of the apparatus. In slot shines there. I have only 2 ampules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one. Points the camera at the corpse, peering into it, then the lens needs adjusting, then sound a shrill flash followed by the breaking of a small ampule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper rolling out. That's pretty cool. On it, a color fit copy of the dead man's tattooed chest. In case we need it, the lieutenant says, and shakes the paper, letting it dry in the cold wind. Cool machine. Yes, he slides the camera close and tucks it away on his belt. It's pretty cool, isn't it? There is only 1 ampule left. Use it wisely. What do we need this photo for? It contains insight on the victim's person. To the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter to us. Someone should decipher it. We'll need to show it around. Can I have it? I should look at it later without the corpse smell. Sure, just don't lose it. He hands you the piece of rolled up photo paper. It's no larger than a pack of cigarettes. Okay, look him in the eye. His eyes are milky white, blind to the world. His eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets. Ugh. There is no one home, just subaquatic terrors there. These eyes used to be blue, baby blue. Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable mess. His eyes used to be blue. Empire. His eyes were big. What if I get both of these options? His eyes used to be blue. Good, the victim of the of Occidental descent. He scribbles in his notebook, light brown hair, blue eyes. When he says Occidental, he means white, originally from the Occidental subcontinent. Okay, that's good to know. Tell me who you are, dead man. He said, I'm gone. Where have you gone? To the wild pale yonder. Is that the past, way out in the west? It's fair. I see you're gone, but who are you? I am a joke. Look at me. There's nothing funny about you. You are now, but who were you when you were alive? Nothing funny about you. There's nothing funny about jokes either. Who are you when you were alive? A killer. Okay, I have another question for you. What is happening? Do you mean? I'm talking to you. It's the power of your black frothy liquid starts bubbling on his lips. Imagination. Go ahead and ask me more questions. You love questions. Do I love questions so much? Because you're a Copperoni. Look at all of them go. Don't you want more questions? Give me a comical amount of questions. Okay. Coming right up, Copperoni. This is getting upbeat now. That's funny. I know my name. Name's not Rooney. Why do I feel like I've forgotten something terrible? Because you have killed you. Love did me in, brother Capo. Was love all along? Can you ask me a question? Sure, Lobo, I can ask you a question. How are you doing this? What? Looking at my face, motionless, looking into my eyes, standing here. Why are you investigating my murder? I don't have anything else to do. This case is all I have because he told me to, nod towards Kim. Maybe this will lead to something indescribable, unforeseen, miraculous. I don't have anything else to do. This case is all I have. It's truth. I'm all you have, then you truly lost it all, brother. You let the world drag it all away from you. What it left, you pissed away, and here we are. He's not wrong. I hate you, you stink and you're boring. It's my name, Rooney. No, you're no Rooney. I distract myself as a Rooney. Rooney's not who I am. I'm Harry. No, you're not Harry either. Oh my gosh, everybody's so grumpy. Alright. Enough. Come back and look into this face anytime you want. Ask me your little questions, freshen your memory. Create associations, remind yourself of your morality. Capalupo. Right, squint, take a step back. As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of greens and pink. This is a trick. You've done it before. Pink is where the blood settled in the first hours post-mortem. You can use it to see if the corpse has been tampered with. Does his position at the time of death match the discoloration? Observe. Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, his neck just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green, cold spring air. His face and hands are pink. Thighs too. I see it. He adjusts his glasses. His neck too. The lividity goes right up to his chin. You have good, well-pronounced discoloration here. Relax your eyes. Monster comes back into focus. An explosion of color. Coursing with dark marbled veins, his stomach appears pregnant with something. Black liquid streams down his thighs onto his boot. Ugh. So what do you think? I think he's dead. I think he was upright. After death, his hands, feet, and neck are discolored. Cover your nose. Something is coming out of him. He's beaten up. See the bruises. Yeah, I think he's dead. That's for sure. I think he was upright after death. Agreed. He points to the belt, especially on the neck. The belt acted like a tourniquet, keeping blood in his head. The hypostasis supports a hanging. Would think all of the hypostasis marks in the neck to be a bit more. You would still like the hypostasis marks in the neck to be a bit more pronounced. Interesting. For some reason, my brain would like the pink to be more pronounced, especially in the neck. Yep, seems like a lynching to me. Could still be was moved after death. Maybe he was strangled by someone. Alright, well, let's just trust my brain. It's a challenging success, so... Maybe it looks faint to you. He leans closer, covering his nose. It could be more pronounced, actually. Could it still be he was moved after death? Maybe he was strangled by someone. He was strangled by someone. Yes, there's always a chance we're wrong. Should check for ligament marks on his neck to see if they're in tune with the belt. I have to get him down first. Okay? Cover your nose. Something's coming out of him. A pool of blood and feces has eaten into frozen mud below the man's feet. Purge liquid is dripping into it drop by drop. Victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion at the time of death. Well, that's impressive. Gosh, these kids. We got lucky. Maybe he went to the toilet sometime before death. We got lucky. Did we? I don't feel lucky. He's beaten up. See the bruises? I do. Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them. The delinquents have made our jobs harder with their little sport. Stop talking in riddles. I think he's dead. Sure, let's just... I agree. His personality is no longer a part of this world. Totally dead. So we've checked red. Oh. The world no longer stores his personality in its composition. There was a time for that, and it ended 7 days ago. Sorry, my dogs were getting riled up. Alright. No better. Not to say that. Too heavy. Totally. This buster's not coming back. Deady, dead, dead, dead. Well, no, better not to say that. Too heavy. Yeah. Sure, the corpse looks by oblivious. Black decay liquid drops from his knee to his boot. That's everything. Let's catch my breath. I have something I need to know. Corpse man. Oh, so how do we get him down? Let's see if he's got anything. I don't want to tell him I hate him. That doesn't seem nice. How do we get him down? He stops to think, then checks his notes. Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's down. Step back and have another look first. Then, alright, let's... Alright, let's just say that. I hate you, you're stinky. Do I remind you of someone? Child born with Haller's disease, harlequinism, grown up miraculously. Deep sea crush for myself in the bathroom mirror. Baby effect with Hartman. Don't remind me of anyone. Sure, let's... Remind me of anyone. Sure I do, you just don't want to admit it. Fair enough. Yep, let's get him down. Hey, I got a skill point. The steel reinforcement belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle to approach the belt. He doesn't actually think the challenge is unique. He thinks it's frustrating, annoying, and harder than he thought. The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up, Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. Even if we do, there's the question of cutting the airship strength material. We should saw the branch. Seems like a lot of hassle. Let's not do it. Maybe we could shoot him down. Maybe we can ask for help from the harbor. I'm out of ideas. Let's have another look at him. Could saw the branch. It's probably easier. Climb up there and saw the branch. Yeah, it seems dangerous. Yeah, there has to be less risky way with less falling down off trees. Let's not do it. Maybe we could shoot him down. No. Maybe we can ask for help from the harbor. I was really hoping we wouldn't. The Union appears to be suspects in this case. It seems like a dangerous route to go down. I would really prefer if there was another way. These people might have an agenda, but what else can we do? Consider other options. Can't someone else do it? Someone else, he pauses. You mean like the police? Yes, exactly. Call the police. I mean, someone else who's below detective. You have a point there. That's funny. Sadly, yes. The whole RCM is out there right now doing the exact same thing we are. Are we in a rush to help them? Not with this on our hands. He covers his nose. I know it's hard, but I assure you the others won't come to help us. And we have a growing sanitary concern here. We need to get him down fast. Alright, we don't like my branch plan. Seems like a lot of hassle. Let's not do it. Got to do it. We are not getting him down already. Not getting him down is a task that's already accomplished. Sadly, it's not our job to keep him up there, but to get him down. I really want to pull off his head. How do you plan on getting him down within the social sensibility? Are you going to educate him down? That's funny. Maybe we could shoot him down. Yeah, the enthusiasm is unrestrained. Bang, bang, time. Oh my gosh. Lieutenant remains unaffected. How? Visual calculus. Where the buckle ties the rope to the branch, there's a good point to aim. Point to it. There, the buckle holds the belt together. I don't know, just, you know, shoot up there, maybe. Where? He corrects his glasses. Ah, yes, I see. If we shoot, if the shot hits there, might be a chance. If the shot hits that, there might be a chance to release the belt. Yeah, now we're talking. Entertain Kuno. They'll miss. Take the shot, Lieutenant. What's the worst thing that can actually happen? Actually, don't do it. It has a bad idea written all over it. Wait, let me try. Say nothing, let him choose. I don't know. Maybe it's better not to. Let's take the shot. Well, we don't want to involve the the Union. I feel like this is our only other option. And I don't think I'm a good... I wish I knew, like, his stats. What are my stats? Intellect... Is this the shooting skill? Hand-eye coordination? It's got a 4. I mean, that's pretty good, right? Ready, aim, and fire. I wonder what his stats are. Take the shot, Lieutenant. What's the worst that could happen? Actually, don't. Has a bad idea. Wait, let me try. Say nothing, let him choose. Ah, man, this is tough. Do I want to shoot, or do I want him to shoot? I'll do it. The man's brow is furrowed. He appears too deep in concentration to even notice what you said. Okay, good. Take the shot, Lieutenant. What's the worst that could happen? Say nothing, let him choose. Okay. I want him to do it, but I don't want to force him into it. What's the worst thing that could happen? He could shoot somebody. Say nothing, let him choose. Silence with his elbows sharp, the lieutenant unzips his jacket, produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks. Securing it in place. That's a Kajal A990 armistice mass-produced muzzleloader. Aesthetic, frugal, one of the most common firearms in the world. He then steps back and assumes the Phalostis position, taking aim. Corner of his eyes twitches, his finger is on the trigger. As he does it, partner, shoot that thing down. Say nothing. Say nothing. Kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements. A cloud of smoke slowly parts in the air. Lieutenant steps back and says to himself, "Man, he missed. A lot of things were wrong with that shot. The Phalostis was the wrong choice. His shoulders were raised, but above all, he cannot trust his eyesight. Kuna could have hit it. It's okay, man. Lieutenant doesn't say a word. He looks at his gun in his hand. Try again, maybe? No, we're lucky as it is. We didn't break anything, and the victim remains uncompromised. He looks around the window, overlooking the yard. Dang it, well, I could have done it. I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get him down without assistance. Don't feel too bad of a shot yourself. Can I have the gun? I should try. It's bad as it is, shooting firearms like punks. He pauses and shrugs, proceeds to load. Alright, here we go, go ahead. I'm not stopping you, just don't lose it. They only have one gun. That's funny. Take the gun, here we go. Feel the weight first. The cold piece of bakelite and gunmetal is surprisingly light. Your finger fits right through the guard, instinctively resting on the trigger. You've held this a P9 armistice before. At some point, it probably used to be your choice of firearm. It still feels comfortable, like you never laid it down. What are you waiting for? Tell him to shoot. That's not nice. Point the gun at the belt. I'm sure if I miss, something terrible will happen. This is going to end badly. The buckle comes into focus in your sights. You stand with your feet planted firmly in the ground and your left hand supporting your gun arm. Why don't you just shoot yourself? Gosh. Hand-eye coordination challenging. Pull the trigger. It's an even. Close your left eye first. You're gonna... Close your left eye. Sure. Field of view narrows, the branch slowly moves, becoming entirely two-dimensional. Metal buckle glimmers, catching the slow movement of the branch, and the wind in your shoulders, directing the gun, sync up, dancing hypnotically. Alright. Say shut up? Or what? I was hoping that would give me a little bonus too. I'm not gonna point the gun at a kid. Alright, we got an even here. Can I do this right now? I've got a breakthrough imminent, so I can't do it. Yeah, it's not going to do anything until I'm done. Let's do it. Failed. I shot him. I'm gonna... Ah, dang it. Plume of smoke erupts from the barrel, your hand goes numb. Ears ringing, lower the weapon to see what happened. You missed the belt, but hit the corpse straight in the chest. Oh, good. Dang it. Ask for another shot. Get it the next time. Yes, give me another shot. Dang it. Please, Kim. There is silence. I need another shot. Cadaver's already. Don't want to make it worse. Dang it. Start crying, you're sensitive. Song about people. Don't provoke her. Lieutenant takes a sidearm. Dang it, I'm so close. I knew something bad would happen if I missed. Lieutenant's... We're not giving the gun to a kid. Lieutenant, we should entrust Kuno with your service weapon. He says he can shoot him down. Not giving a gun to a kid. We still need to get him down. His tone is growing tired. The stench makes him turn away from the corpse. The bad way. I didn't want us asking the harbor for help. They have the tools and the men. They put him up there. They can take him down. Good job. We already found a way in the harbor. Hooray for us. That'd be dangerous. To ask the suspects for help with the victim's body, to be indebted to Everett Clare very much. Yes, he nods, which is why I would have preferred to accomplish this feat ourselves. Can't. Oh man, I kind of just want to like reload it and try it again. When is my last autosave? I had an autosave at... Oh, that was a while ago. 246? No, 346. Yeah, that was like 40 minutes ago. I guess we're just in it now. Rigorous self-critique. Here it is. Hard facts from the man you are. You once... Well, this is completely uncalled for. Re-emerging from the darkness of your past, you tried shooting a fleeing suspect. Oh my god. Crippling him for life. Above all, you let life defeat you. This guy's just got a really rough life. He's done bad stuff. All the gifts your parents gave you, all the love and patience of your friends, drowned it in neurotoxin. Until you die or overcome it. Int and Psi. Checks failed. Check failures healed. Huh. +1 morale, +1 health. That's nice. Didn't really do a whole lot for me, though. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Let's go ahead and unlock that one. And... it's finger pistols. You were promised a gun, that much is certain. This is why you become a cop. And here you are lording around with idle hands like some sorry loser from the street. Suddenly you're supposed to be solving cases by what? Like talking to people? How are they going to believe that you can protect yourself and them from savages without a firearm? This ain't right. You need to think around this problem, and you need to snap your fingers at people as you do. Fair enough. Start thinking about finger pistols. Man, I felt so good about that. It all just kind of it all just came crashing down on me. Where's the rest of the armor? Oh, I don't want to talk to Kuno. Use Kim's shortwave to run the serial number. Ask around about the tattoos. Gotta go back to Everett. I can't believe I shot the body. Whoa, someone's been a little boring. What? No, I'm not. Get out of here. Yes, my standard liege. Someone's been all sorts of wild ideas pop off and thought, I'll take the boring one. The regular, please. The brown. Oh, so this is I'm being called out for being a sad cop. Unfortunately. Alright. I do like brown. Of course you do. And maybe some black shoes. Or a pristine white shirt to go with that. It's official. My lord's cop type is regular cop. I'll let everyone know. I'll send out a telefax. Wait. This will be my cop type now. Why not? Send out the telefax then. I'm not ashamed. Yeah, no need. Let's keep the announcement. Fine. Wait. This will be my cop type now. Yes, the type of cop you are, sire. Think of this as a caste, a class even, a nation of regular law officials that you belong to. It comes, of course, with the usual benefits. Sure, I'll be a regular cop. Done and done. No actual communiques will be sent, of course. That would be too dramatic. I don't mind being a regular cop. Okay, so it looks like you've gotten a bit of the normal in you. A touch of the regular. 4 grams of Johnny Normal Cop. Who would have thunk it? You, the extremist of all the cops. You said some pretty boring things back there, and now you have 2 choices. You can either leave it behind and forget about it, or you can try to utilize your normalcy, internalize it, get a touch of vanilla back into the herring-flavored egg and licorice ice cream of your mind. Oh, that's funny. We'll have to wait till I level up to internalize a normal cop. Alright, let's just get this over with and talk to Kuno.
Fuck, does Kuno care?
Found your shack. Empathy. No. Want to discuss the body. Where's the rest of his armor? There are contusions all over the body. Did you do that? Contusion. Grabs his head like it's suddenly hurting. Says you're stupid, Kuno. They want to make you stupid again. Contusion is a bruise. Talking about the marks your stones left on the corpse. Oh, did Kuno make your investigation harder? Obstruction of investigation. He lets go of his head, suddenly feeling better. This is Kuno's kingdom. Fine. Where's the rest of the armor? Doesn't know about the armor. Come. He's a mutant. Look at him. He points to the body. He's giant. The armor's too big for any man. Drills his temples with his fingers in some strange, aggressive gesture. Kuno doesn't give a shit about the freak armor. Kuno threw that. Oh, he did. What do you mean he threw it away? Kuno tried to get the helmet on. It was too big. He performs a kick off the imaginary helmet. Kuno kicked that into the sea, rugby style. Did nothing to Kuno. You threw it in the sea. Yep. Repeats, Kuno doesn't give a shit about material shit. Kuno's a monk. That's funny. Want to blah 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 about the armor. Go to the mustached. Oh, I think the Jolly Troubadour. Troubadour. No, the Jolly Union cow. Oh my gosh, this guy's just a mess. Came around talking about cows. Came around pretending like he cares about cows. Yes, you met him at the gates, the one with the boots and the jolly smile. You mean Manana. Yeah, he's the one you want to talk to. He's crazy about the armor. Coming here pretending like he likes cows. Trying to catch a peep at the armor. Curious, my liege, why did Kuno feed you this information? You're just telling this about the kindness of your heart. Yeah, doing charity today. Kuno Day. Kuno feels sorry for you 2 losers. Still seems suspicious he may have it for that guy. Or you may be paranoid. That's also possible. Alright, that was the nicest interaction I've had with Kuno. I'll take it. Go to the harbor gates, talk to the jolly man about the armor. There's a lot of quests going on here. Oh, I need to like look at my clipboard. Okay. Can I read the case files? Yes, at least you find a way to piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin, HDB41 date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB... Oh, that's Harry Dubois. Probably 41's the precinct, so that's the date. Next World Mural. Wait, HDB41. Weren't those Officer Precinct? How long does it take to read each case? Why, yes, your precinct number is 41. HDB. Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. These are your case files. Safe to assume HDB are your initials. Harry Dubois. The Next World Mural. This one is relatively easy to reconstruct. Overnight on 12/2, a graffito, nay a mural, appears on an 8-story tenement overlooking central Jamrock. The building is a sparsely inhabited ghost tower, part of a failed real estate development called Grand Curon. Cause of failure, rent too high. The mural is enormous. 2 silhouettes, a man and a woman, are kissing. The text cut into their forms reads, "True love is possible only in the next world for new people. It is too late for us." We wreak havoc on the middle class. Oh, that's not nice. People call it that thing, and that thing possible from... It's visible for miles. In 2 days, the station's complaints desk gets clogged with requests to remove the bummer. You and your partner are assigned to the case. The graffito crew is easy to track down. The bells, letters have the litterage of industrial paint to cover the surface. One of the graffito artists is rumored to be rich. They take responsibility for the execution, not the design. The ideologue of the Next World Mural, as the crew calls it, remains unknown. Do I ever find out who came up with it? The case file does not show you finding the author of the design. The crew agrees to clean up after themselves. However, your partner JV is against the removal, citing public support for the conservation. This leads to a debate in Precinct 41, which then spreads to the streets of Jamrock, ending in a rare plebiscite organized by you and the rest of Row 3. The 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villa Lobos, plus half the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rumbling on the streets as to how juvenile and stupid the mural is, given a choice between the 2 options. Move the mural, it is wrong. Keep the mural, it is right. It's art. People want to keep it, keep it. Staggering 78% of the vote chose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority, and that love truly is possible in the next world for new people, and it is too late for us. All that remains is to wreak havoc on the middle class. The middle class are not to be blamed. It's human nature. I like it, but can't we wreak havoc on other nations instead? I must have voted and possibly even lobbied to remove the thing because I don't believe in that rubbish one bit. Middle class are not to be blamed. It's human nature. Sure. Did anyone ask what you believe in? Ask what you believe in, man with the smelly toilet ledger. What do you want to tackle next? Or are we done? Unsolvable case. AKA Leslie and Burke, AKA the public indecency drunk and the property damaged drunk, is a cursed case. It has been passed from unsuspecting officer to unsuspecting officer for 10 years. January 29th, the unsolvable case made its way to you. Why you accepted it is unclear. Every officer, and indeed most civilians in Jamrock, know it's unsolvable. Leslie will always take his pants off when he's drunk. That's funny. Burke will always trash everything. It's just what they do. It is their nature. You cannot change the nature of a man, and you can't lock them away, because public indecency and small-scale property damage are not punishable by incarceration. The only way for Leslie to stop flashing his genitals to passers is for Burke to stop dismantling signage, and rear view mirrors would be for them to stop drinking alcohol, which in their 40s or 50s, it's hard to tell because of their distorted features, is a medical improbability, on par with you ceasing to produce the expression. Can't we just keep them off the streets? You would think that, but you're wrong. Where's the fun in exposing your genitals or breaking stuff in your own home? No, Leslie and Burke are on the corner of Main Street and Perdition because that's where the action is. Can you keep yourself off the streets? Oh, that's true. Proceed. Threatening fines, dragging them to the station, locking them up in the hellholes they live in, locking them up in the station, hypnotherapy, even trying to get a local gang Zimlikes to take them out. The Zimlikes gave them ethanol so Burke and Leslie would expose and rampage even harder. You tried it all, and still the complaints wouldn't stop, as they hadn't stopped for 10 years. It's plain to see from the files that you, Satellite Officer JV, and Special Consultant TH had more important cases to attend to. You uncover cross-reference to several ongoing investigations, each brought to a standstill every time you drive down Main Street, because there they are, on the corner of Perdition. And what is Leslie doing? Which one's Leslie? Leslie is the flasher. Good, you're learning if the files are to be trusted. That's all there is to it. That and Burke breaking things, and the fact that they're both drunk. Then again, so are you. The case becomes considerably less comic one day when Burke takes a swing at your ledger. He must have it confused with property he likes to damage. The joke's on him. You're drunk out of your mind. On potent Pilsner, you slam the hardened plastic board in his face, then you proceed to beat him unconscious with it. Wow. In the process, the ledger sustains damage. The compartment within, reserved for permeable documents, is jammed shut. You stop your assault on the now conscious Burke to open it. But you aren't able to do so. The officer began to cry, reports Leslie, who at this point is tending to Burke. He came at us and at us. I think he was trying to kill Burko. While trying to kill Burko, you slowly come around. The permeables compartment is open. You've smashed it open on poor Burko's kneecaps. The good news is Burke can't walk anymore. Oh dear. Can't get out of his apartment. An invalid with Burke to tend to. Leslie cuts back on the indecent exposure. Maybe he flashes his genitals to Burke. He knows, but both drunks are off the street. The complaints stop. The unsolvable case is solved. Which is also why the officer responsible narrowly escapes disciplinary hearing. The end. Do you want to read another one? Square bullet hole murders. It would be very interesting to read about these, wouldn't it? I mean, there seems to be a square-shaped entry wound, but the victim's forehead, she's been sitting there for weeks on her rocking chair, with a square hole in her skull staring at the wall, her mouth agape, but that's all you got. From the half hour you spent piecing it together, all you know is the entry wound was a square-shaped. Never found the bullet, and then another body showed up, also with a square hole in his forehead. A sequence killer. Who knows, those pieces are missing. What's next? One day you may still catch the man with the square gun. The couch in an unexpected location. Some assholes brought their couch outside and hung out on it in the middle of the street, on the roof, on the hillside by the motorway. You know, at an unexpected location. They were young and they thought they looked cool on it. Actually, they look like really cool, like a rock band. He looked really cool. Back to assholes. Insufferable dicks, young people are the worst. So anyway, you got a complaint about the sofa or couch or whatever it was. They were leaving it out on all these unexpected and whimsical locations they took it to, where they also took photos of themselves on it and smoked cigarettes and drank coffee because they felt it intellectual. Cigarette butts, coffee cups, stupid couch. You had to clean it all up, and you did. So congratulations to you. Case solved. Did you ever catch those guys? No, you didn't. Didn't have time for that. Those notes show that you have what is called a real job. You don't have time to be chasing down couch assholes. You have a real job. What's next? Murder at the hookah parlor. Murder, tam at the hookah parlor was a case originally assigned to an officer called Joseph Mills, who is now dead, or circumstances completely unconnected to the murder at the hookah parlor. Wait, now, right on with the murder. Beaten to death by a throng of Villalobos gang members when him and his partner JM, all the initials mentioned, answered a call one night. It's a sad story, and it isn't really represented in your case files. Stop stalling and get to the murder at the hookah parlor. Alright? Joseph Mills was on this case that he just couldn't solve, was doing it solo. Said it was a real nutcracker, a real brain twister. Was on it for like a month. The captain got impatient. Shitter get off the pot, Mills. Mills didn't get off the pot, not yet. He kept at it a couple more weeks more, racking his brain, running with every theory as outlandish as they seemed. This couldn't solve the murder at the hookah parlor. Tough case, he said, toughest he'd ever had. Was Joseph Mills a good cop? No, he was awful. Awful sense of humor, too. The worst jokes you've ever heard, really rapey. What? Still, he'd been on it for months now. Said it was the final case, said it was uncrackable. That was the murder. That the murderer vanished into thin air. The hookah parlor was all he would talk about. Go on. Okay, so the case is handed to you because Mills isn't getting anywhere, and you look into it. Here's the setup. A young man is found dead in a hookah parlor. You know those places where you go to smoke bubblegum flavored vapor all day. Can you get high off of it? Really cool, really stupid. Yeah, so anyway, young man in his 20s found with his skull busted open right on the floor of the hookah parlor. Middle of the day. No one else is in there, only client that day. In perfect health too, some kind of movie producer. Interesting. No one enters, no one exits. He's just sucking on his watermelon hookah all morning, all noon, like he usually does. He's a regular. No calls, nothing. Just sucking on the hookah until 15:45. Then bam, he's dead on the floor, with his skull busted open, blood everywhere. What happened? How can it be? Mills has no idea. Invisible assassin, movie deal gone sour. Girl at the counter did it. Nothing fits. Eerie. Man just dropped dead, so you go to the parlor. You see cushions around the table. Table's low, heavy, really sharp edge. He sucked hookah, stood up, passed out, hit his head on the table, and died. See? You can't even read that thing without solving it. Yeah, it was that. Turns out hookah does do something. Turns off your brain's oxygen supply, and you don't notice it until you get up to go to the bathroom. Must have sucked a lot of it. And what was he doing there for 6 hours? Smoking hookah. Didn't you hear? I don't know. Trying to come up with a movie script, maybe. Anyway, that was a murder at the hookah parlor. Joseph Mills wasn't a good detective. And about 30 minutes has passed piecing it together next. Alright, well that's all my old cases. That was fun. Need a case file? I don't know. Good. Put the ledger away. So I got some more thought cabinet stuff. I got a breakthrough, that's the issue. Is this the Indo tribe? Oh, finger pistols! Pew 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 pew. Snap snap, baby. Turns out guns aren't that much for protecting as they are for attacking people. If you want to protect people, you really work for them. You have to whip out your signature dual 9mm Vier's finger pistols. Pew, 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 pew. Who needs a real gun anyway? That conversation you just had, it would have gone better had you snapped those bad boys at them. Note, 9mm dual finger pistols do not count as an actual weapon gunfight. +1 reaction speed, safety's always off. Empty hand slots give suggestion +1. Huh. Cool. Oh, I got 15th Indo tribe too. Because there was a 15th Indo tribe. The 15th Indo tribe was comprised of 8 kids from Fabro and North Jamrock running from wild dogs in the valley, hiding scents under rocks and stealing clothes off clotheslines, sometimes even the copper wiring of phone lines. You may have been one of them. This must be a childhood memory. The 15th Indo tribe was your Indo tribe, set to rule Insulinde. The rest of the kids are dead now, car accidents and drug overdoses. Only Maine. Plus 10 cents for every green orb clicked. Earning cap for Xavier Fair races. What is the green orb? Plus 10 cents for every green orb clicked. It's a green orb. I think I'm all... It's interesting. I don't know what a green orb is. Does anybody know what a green orb is? Alright. Let's go back up here. I'm gonna keep my eyes out for green orbs. 10 cents for every one of them. I mean, can't beat that. That's free money. I've got to talk to this guy, and then I've got to get back into the docks as well. It's getting late.
So, how'd you like our harbor?
You've been in there, he means talk to the boss man too. It's nice enough. Labor Utopia. It's nice enough. It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains, he notes solemnly, then turns to you, a wide smile adorning his face. Right, you talk to the boss eye to eye, like men of the plain. You have any more questions? Kuno told me you were supposed to know about the armor. I'm a bit short on money. Any idea who killed the hanged man? Little boy did good on his promise. His promise to get me into trouble. Pardon the choice of words, not mine. What happened? I was asked to look into that armor situation. Official Union probe, you know. Track it down, see who took it. Did you? At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. Buy us a few more days under the sun, you know? So I went to this boy. He said, he'll make me his prison bitch. He's got eyes everywhere. The cop's in his pocket, and he's king of Jamrock. Serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped the probe right then and there, and it still got me into trouble. One bad move is all it takes. Kuno used us to, what, scare you? What did you learn? I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk Union man about some armor. What else? Not much. Technical stuff mostly. That was the interesting part. What sort of technical stuff? I did some research into the Armorada. Let's say I have friends at the library, he explains with a wry smile. I didn't get into material science, just how it comes off. How does it come off? In parts, 4 in total. The helmet was the first to go. The kid says he tore it off, kicked it into the sea. I believe him. The boots are still on the guy last I saw, too hard to remove. So as I count, there are 2 parts missing, the gauntlets and the cuirass. This is where I left off. Too much hassle, more like a job for someone. Hold up 4 pieces. Helmet, cuirass, gauntlets, boots. What about the leggings? I'm going to find 1 piece of it. 1 is enough. I'm ambitious. I'm going to find all of it. All the pieces. Actually, they have better things to do. Okay. What about the leggings? Oh, they're just gone. They don't exist anymore. If they ever did at all, he gives you a jolly shrug. Forget about them. I did. I'm going to find 1 piece. I want to find them all. All of it? The lieutenant raises his brows. There are junior officers out there eager to prove themselves. I would leave some of them. Leave some for them. And I would leave the boots to processing. But okay, let's find all of it. It's implied he finds it unlikely that you will succeed in this. That's funny. A epic tale. Epic then. All across Martinez. She glances south where the canal runs. I hope it will be a real bonanza for you. So Kuno used us to scare you. It's a minor nuisance. It's all good. He contemplates taking a swig of his flask. Alright. No problem. finally takes a swig from the flask. If you see the kid, thank him from Call Me Manana. Thank him for showing me the way. Any idea who killed him? Mercenary, he shrugs. Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing? He shakes his head. The merc was hanged with a very specific type of cargo belt, one often used in heavy transport areas, for example, harbors. What a thought, he scoffs, looking shocked. Why would noble workers resort to such a thing unless they were pushed, of course? Pushed how? Your dead guy was an enemy combatant? Hold up, what does that mean? He was an agent of the opposition attempting to undermine our honorable efforts. Did you kill him? I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like our unions have all sorts of men with all sorts of skills. He's not lying about not doing it himself. Understood. Lieutenant takes a note. This has been limited use. Still thank you. No problem. I wish the best to you in your search. Sure am glad it's not my search. He takes a sip from his flask. Alright. I need to go talk to the guy in, like, the head of the union. Now that I've examined the body, it's probably useful. I should probably put that picture... Yeah, probably should. Does it give a modification? To inspect the item. It looks like a map of the stars. What's the meaning of this tattoo? Discovery, you've gotten as far as you will without assistance. Someone who knows about history can tell you. History. Oh, maybe, I might know somebody who knows a lot about history. Need to talk to him anyway. Got a picture. The guy who knows all about the war. Maybe he knows. Revachol. Oh, Revachol. I've been saying it wrong the whole time. Alright, let's go.
This is where you say your bit.
A broad-shouldered man points to you with a beer can.
Detective?
Lieutenant acknowledges you with a sharp note. He's leaving it to you. Don't say anything yet. First, we need to talk about your attitude. We need to talk about the man hanged out back. Don't say anything yet. Let's play it cool.
Hey, dipshit. You hard of hearing or something? The boss man's talking to you.
Do not let their squeals disturb your serenity. These are but simple peasants, sire. Chatter is too inane to reach your ears. Raise your chin. Gaze directly to the distance like a prince. We need to talk about the man hanged out back. Sure, let's just talk.
Oh, this is about him? A real looker, that one.
Wow.
Sure taking your time. Waiting for him to get all ripe and pretty for you, huh?
Well, I actually shot him trying to get him down.
Oh, he's a real pretty boy by now. Real hot stuff. Letting out that pretty boy smell.
Time to go to work in the shit factory.
Easy, boys. These janitors have a hell of a job cut out for them. I mean, I wouldn't go in there for $1 million.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
Do a head count first. Connect these men to the tracks you saw in the yard. Chances are they're going to match. Scan the room. The man hanged to the back. Did you do it? Scan the room. Starting from right, boot size 44. Blonde man in his 30s, overbearingly masculine. Sitting to his right, standard working boot size 45 or 46. Eldest in the room, probably mid-50s, smoker, quiet. Oh, they just give me all these names too. Elaine, across the other table. Hobnailed, working boot size 43, gang tattoos, mask or Saramizl. He's got gang tattoos. And he's a race in his late 30s, early 40s. He spent his youth in Villa Lobos, a housing project in Jamrock Quarter. They were their incarcerations, or to say what else, the ink is fading. Titus Hardy, and then standard working boot, steel reinforced toes size 46, the big dick, wide at the shoulders and lean at the hips. Rugby cap, fingerless gloves, numerous scars, a little under 40. The emblem on his vest says Rowing Club. A little patch below it reads T. Hardy Captain. In the far corner, standard working boot, steel reinforced toe size 44. 44 something non-alcoholic beverage in hand, or 40 something non-alcoholic beverage in hand. You squint. Is that Electrum? Where? On his neck. Forget it. It's not important. Let's call this one the Musician. And the little guy, Shanky, size 41 with a light step, not a child after all. An older man with rat-faced, mean, watery eyes and 2 front teeth missing. Fat Agnes. In the middle, heaving and wheezing, big guy, boots size 46, deep marks probably carried the victim over. He alone is 130 kilos. Add the man in armor and you can easily exceed 220. In conclusion, these 7 are the actors on the crime scene. The footprints were theirs, but there is a discrepancy. One of them is absent. The odd soul. Exactly. The missing lady driver who is running the drug trade. Does it mean that the Hardy Boys are involved in the drug trade as well? These bandits, definitely the entire Union might be involved. Maybe even entire Martinez look around suspiciously. Not necessarily. The lady driver could have kept the drugs trade secret. This would fit what Joyce told us, but I don't want to make any assumptions. Yeah, I don't want to make any assumptions right now. Maybe, but hey, you stood there for about 4 seconds not saying anything. Now is a good time to hit them with questions. Where's the 8th Hardy? What is with you, fella? Titus is staring at you with his head tilted. The man hanged in the back. Did you do it? I found 8 sets of footprints, but there's only 7 of you. Where's the 8th Hardy boy? Guess one have connected you to the local drug trade. Oh, wow. This is really just jumping right in it, huh? Did you do it? The pretty boy. He takes a sip from his can. You guys really love talking about that pretty boy. Funny, the lieutenant says without a smile. My partner and I have serious matters to discuss with you. Why is there a container belt around the dead man's neck? Container belt, like we use in the harbor. Yes, why? Because we took it, he says, from the harbor where we work. Then we went out back and used it to hang him. We did this, he looks you dead in the eye, together, all of us, until he was dead. That's why there's a container belt around his neck. Well, I thought it was going to be a bit more of a long play to figure out who exactly killed him. But it seems like they're just owning up to it. There's a catch hidden somewhere. He didn't confess so that you could just take them all away. It's too simple. Ah, so you just confessed to a murder. That's it, game's over. We got the perpetrator. Squint your eyes. But there's a catch. Task complete. Investigate the vigilantes. There's no catch. These 7 honest men have all equally come forth to tell you what happened so that you don't have to waste any more of your time. All 7 together. They're diluting responsibility. It's an anti-arrest tactic. Murdered him just like that. No remorse. How many people have you sent to the chase? Ever felt remorse for them? Chase Electrique is the method of capital punishment in Revachol under the Coalition. During the suzerain's reign, it used to be the firing squad. We sent them to Reunion to rot 20 years for life. Says it as if it were worse than dying. Yes, but they were all bad people, criminals, scums of the earth. Look, I'm just doing my job, that's all. What we do is different. We enforce the law. You just kill people like it's nothing. Honestly, I drink so much. Alright, we are different. We enforce the law. You just kill people. But you see a lawman, he says, squeezing his beer can, is something people agree upon. Here, Martinez, we agreed that this man had to die. This isn't something he came up with on the spot. It's his standard reasoning, a product of many years of being Titus Hardy. Oh, that's why they call him the Hardy Boys. That's funny. Called the shots that night. Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't arrest a Hardy Boy without arresting all Hardy Boys. A shadow of a smirk passes her lips as she tilts her head. Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all? Trick question. Don't let her lead the conversation. Address Elizabeth. I don't have to. One of them was more complicit than the others. Address Titus. No, but seriously, who calls the shots around here? One of them was more complicit than the others. That's for the courts in Jardin to decide, not for the officer making an arrest, which we all know would be. She sounds almost helpful. What you can do right now is go back to your station and write a report. No, the lieutenant says calmly. We'll stay here and discuss what happened that night. When did this hanging incident occur? You don't have to keep answering his questions. The fixer turns to remind Titus. I know, Lizzie. Relax. He takes a sip. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way to end the week. Wow. How long had you known the victim? Known him? We don't associate with scum like that, asshole. Yeah, who do you think we are? Wyatt. Titus gives Glenn a stern look. He came around about 3 weeks ago when the Pines cow first sailed into town. Happy? By the Pines cow, you mean Joyce Messier? Messier? I guess it's Messier. Representative for Wild Pines. The lieutenant pretends to check his notes. The same company you're striking against. No, he stresses, I mean the Pines cow. The stupid cow they sent in to mess with us. But you know what? He rubs his chin, pretending to mull it over. Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you ask her hard enough. That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. She turns to you. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions. Why did you kill him? How did you kill him? Why don't I just arrest you? Why did you kill him? Why, he hisses through his teeth, because he was a worthless mercenary scum, and he stepped out of line in my town. So who's mercenary? That's it. Glad we cleared that up. And he stepped out of line. He repeats, jaw clamped shut like a vice. What kind of mercenary? The kind that shows up when you start a strike. Then the experienced kind too. Had Cohoy and Simonine written all over him. Ex-Orangese Special Forces. I live grenade. The man spreads his arms right here in our bar. I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that. Story for every strike from here to Samara. Hold on, how do you even know he was Special Forces? Right, but what was he actually doing? Did you know he's Special Forces? Because one night he walked straight up to the mic and said it. I'm Origines, Special Forces. Well, that'll do it. Really? Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there, sang some Orange's paratrooper song, said he was going to mess with everybody. We couldn't believe it either, but he did it. Right there. He points to the stage, like some kind of animal. Tale is true. This is a serious violation of karaoke code. That's funny. Right, but what did he actually do wrong? Alright, okay, besides the crime against karaoke, what did he actually do wrong? Wrong, he roars. He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning. He wipes spittle from his mouth. From rape to harassment to threats of violence, why the strange de-escalation? He regrets mentioning it. Hopes you didn't notice. Huh. To kill us if we don't open the gates, if he wouldn't let the scabs in. If we don't bend over, he cracks his knuckles, and that was before he started coming here. Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now, started coming here every night, drinking, grabbing girls, grabbed one of ours mid-karaoke, right there on the stage. Grabbed someone. The lieutenant is trying to make sense of the flood of information. Yes, this girl's on the mic, a beautiful girl, young, gets into the second verse of Lover Lake, and he grabs her legs and starts screaming. Ugh. Well, that's not good. Then he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle, doesn't even fall down. He shakes his head in disbelief. Was this the same girl who he sexually assaulted? Cave in. Aren't you listening? My man is talking to you. He took care of it. They got the girl out before anything else could happen. Yeah, me and Eugene got her out. Aren't you listening? He's like a parrot. Wait, did they mention that? Oh, they did. This girl's on the mic. His favorite joints, talking around, drinking, grabbing girls, grab one of. I don't really know that they said that, but sure, whatever. There's something odd here. Seems like they don't want to talk about the rape Titus mentioned. Why not? This is a serious allegation. Make them talk about it. Right, but did he rape them? This is a very serious allegation. No, there's a moment of silence. You're not getting a name. That's a Martinez matter, and I'm not discussing it with you clowns. There's nothing you can do for now. He's stonewalling you. So what are we going to do now? How did you kill him? Hanged him up by his neck until he got real still. Wasn't it obvious? Didn't they teach you anything at the cop school? This is where an autopsy would come in handy. You have to work with what you know. Need more. Did you muffle him? We haven't heard any reports of screams. Right, maybe another question then. Titus, you don't have to clarify anything. We overpowered him, dragged his unconscious body to the tree, put a noose around his neck, and hanged him till he was dead and steady. Then we left him for seagulls and maggots. The small man points at you and you. Makes them a bit more uncomfortable first. Make them a bit more uncomfortable first, then see if it all adds up. Wasn't he trained killer from Renegades Special Forces? If yes, then how did you manage to overpower him? Where did this... Yeah. With numbers, asshole. How do you think? He looks at the woman. You're right, Lizzie. I've done enough explaining here. No, he hasn't. Not yet. Where did this overpowering happen? You listening came to our bar. He looks around. It happened right here. Alright. Things aren't quite right here, are they? Success! Titus is solid as a rock, and so are a few others. But first tell me who's solid, who's cracking under the pressure. Elaine, who looks like he might be Titus's right-hand man. The least antsy of the bunch, definitely not his first time being questioned by the police. Shanky, this little rat-faced fellow, is solid too. Always fidgety, yes, but no change there. Eugene, him neither. Mostly keeps to his tomato juice or whatever he's got there. He's cracking under the pressure. Fat Agnes, this one, he's sweating profusely and has difficulty breathing. They've smartly kept him out of the conversation thus far. Definitely the weakest link in the chain. Hey, you turn to the big guy. Having trouble breathing over there? There's something you're not telling me. Right, I have another. Now let's talk to him. No, he looks up, startled. His forehead shiny from sweat. A few coiled locks are peeking out from under his warm woolen hat. Of course he's having trouble breathing. Just look at how fat he is. The man next to the big guy bursts out laughing. The big boss steps in. Agnes is a powerful guy, all muscle. Keep your eye on this powerful guy. Sooner or later he's going to break like a piece of twig. There's something you're not telling me. Picking on Agnes like that. We're done with this schoolyard shit. And just so you know, he doesn't have trouble breathing. Right, I have another question about the lynching. Why don't I just arrest you? How are we going to do this now? Why don't I just arrest you? Yeah, lawman takes a step closer, flexing his ball cap. Why don't you? It's almost an anthropological sight, watching him try to assert dominance over you. Not in the arresting mood, his mean little eyes come alive with hatred. By your side, the lieutenant keeps his hand away from his holster. You hear the nylon of his coat hiss as he steps closer. While the little rat-faced man reaches into his sleeve, there's a knife in there. Some of the others reach into their belts, their eyes alight. Confess to murder. I'm taking you in. Easy now. Let's just talk. Are they gonna kill me? I have a feeling they're gonna take me down if I get closer. Easy now, let's just talk. Let's back off for now. He leans back against the table. You made the right choice there. Now make another one and get out of our booth. So what are we going to do now? Prove your authority to Titus Hardy. Nothing. Her reply comes sharp. Your investigation here is done. Leave Martinez. Go back to your station where you... I think we're going to stick around thanks to some things. Some things don't add up here. Titus, the lieutenant, closes his notebook. I've done this job for a long time. Done this job long enough to know that people don't just confess to first-degree murder, even if it's a group responsibility. We're going to look into this. Good luck with that. He grabs another beer. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is going to hear from us, real law officials. You're lucky... oh, they're the real law officials. You're lucky you didn't get a beating. Establish authority. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take off now. I want to talk about the hanging again. I found 8 sets of footprint, but there's only 7 of you. Where's the 8th Hardy? Guess what? I've connected you to local drug trade. What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardy, boy. There's 7 of us, and we're all here. We're what you want to be, the 8th Hardy boy. We ain't hiring. Shakes his head. Actually, boss, we've been talking. We think she could maybe... so there is an 8th Hardy, and it's a Hardy girl. Who might it be? Elizabeth, the gardener? Shut up, Glenn, he roars. I do the talking here. Now what do you want to know, cop? Looks like... it has to be good if he won't let you pursue it. Looks like the lieutenant thinks so too. So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardy boy. It's a she, and you don't like us talking about her. That's right. We're not talking about this. This is a private Hardy boy matter. Nothing to do with your shit, and he points to the lieutenant. You're not cops here. Don't go digging around if you don't want a bullet in the back of your head. I'm watching you. Good. We're all watching each other. The lieutenant adjusts his spectacles. Officer, your question. Guess what? I've connected you to the local drug trade. Sure. Like hell you have. He leans back unruffled. There's no local drug trade. This place is as clean as a rifle. Go back to Jamrock and ask the local junkies how clean your streets are in Precinct 41. Kilos. We'll do that. In the meantime, he points south. Did you know that there's an abandoned lorry at the intersection that was used to move raw ingredients for drugs from Terminal B to Jamrock? The person driving it was present at the hanging. It was one of you. Connected to footprints, he taps his notebook, then turns to you. Detective, do you want to deliver the coup de grace? The thought forms in your head like a lightning strike and like a lightning strike branching in the sky. You're right. There's no local drug trade except you. Is it Titus? No. Do the honor. You've earned the lieutenant. Forget it. I know they'd never own up to it. You're right. There is no local drug trade except you. Yeah. That's a mighty interesting theory. He rubs his jaw, smiling. I guess that's what you would need to do theoretically. A big, strong, state-run monopoly would outcompete the runs on the street. Yeah, man, theoretically, that's what you would do to get rid of the gangs, the dealers, even some of the junkies. You would need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course. Hardy men to run such a monopoly. He grins. For the good of the community, of course. Yes. That just sends everyone else to Jamrock, doesn't it? Just diverted the flow to Jamrock. You've made it our problem. This is disgusting. You're admitting to profiting off poisoning your own people. Good idea. People are always going to do drugs. At least the way they have some control over it. Yeah, keep telling yourself that. I know for a fact there's still plenty of drugs out there. You're admitting to profiting off poisoning your own people. Boo-hoo, people will always be taking drugs. Might as well do it clean and organized. Yeah, that's what the labor movement is all about. Clean and organized. And the Hardy Boys are running it. Theoretically, of course, we're just talking politics here. My answer to your drug accusation is how dare you. Not quite, Mr. Hardy. There were 8 sets of prints at the crime scene. There were only 7 Hardys here. The 8th Hardy, the one who's missing, she runs the thing, right? My answer is F off. He takes a step closer. Mind your own business. There's no 8th Hardy. I run the scene. And here we go. Back to the usual, the woman's size. I know, the little man raises his index finger excitedly. Fatty walked on all 4s. He's so fat he left 2 sets of footprints. Despite everything, the little man is quick on his feet. Oh, that's not nice. Task complete. Confront the Hardy Boys about the drug trade. Leveled up. That's more like it, boys. She turns to you. You heard him. It was Agnes on all 4s. Anything else you need to know? Let's talk about the hang again. Not going to roll an 8%. Alright, I've asked all those questions. Yeah, I'm good for now. Photos of men in overalls, toting guns, and Union placards. See hawthorn bushes outside. Some of this, you just have to see to believe. It's a bowl, there's a spit in it. Oh. Okay. Oh, I can talk to the window. Cafeteria window behind the dock workers, a ceiling height window. Hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers. You see 2, maybe 3 bushes grown into a single thicket over a period of 50 years. It takes time for a hedge like that to form. Got the window. It's not time yet. Mysterious door seen. Squint. There's a little slide panel up there to let some air in. No need to open it in spring. It's still too cold outside. It's not time yet, huh? Got a good perception too. So essentially, you just have to roll double 6s. Avert your gaze. Okay. Getting close
I've
to.
got nothing to say to you.
Are you the Hardy girl?
Why are you wasting your time?
I'm not. Could be Liz. Could be anything. You could even be a model. Even her face stiffens. Glenn, I went to law school. I'm an attorney. He's right. With a face like that, she could be on the cover of Le Debutante International. Get a grip, Glenn. She went to law school. Alright, let's change the topic. Please do. It's not her. She's not a Hardy girl, definitely. Alright, well. I gotta start thinking about money for tomorrow. I'm gonna start selling stuff at the pawn shop. Alright. I think... Well, I leveled up, didn't I? Could do another thought cabinet thing. Got all these things equipped. Oh, I can't. I thought I leveled up. Unlock a new slot. Search thought. Oh, I think is it because I do not have enough skill points? Does it take 2? It says I have one. I don't know. Interesting. Well, I guess I'll put it somewhere else. Do like perception. Let's level perception up again. Okay. Gosh, we got a lot of stuff. I need to go talk to Everard again. Need to talk to... I think I can put that... Yeah, so that's just going to be like a... I need to talk to this guy. Ooh, what's that? There's something down there. Must the smell of potato cellar in the spring emanates from the air vent. Huh. Wonder if that's the secret room I found. I think this guy might... He knows a lot about history, so he might know about the picture. Alright, let's talk to him.
Vigilance, officer! What can this old carabinier do for you?
Oh, that's locked. Renee, I found your guard booth. Yes, the Debradar's union pays me to stand vigil during the nights. He looks down, not out of any political allegiance, mind you. I'm an old man, don't sleep more than a few hours every night anyway. Money is tight, he adds with a sigh, a slight sigh. You must have seen something on the night of the murder. Your booth looks right into the yard. I saw a picture there. We're in it. Who's the girl? Yes, it does. He nods. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since last Monday. Are you on leave? It's a private matter, he says with dignity. Nothing to do with your investigation. You see, Officer, Rene is the kind of man who'd rather die than admit he needs medical assistance or, God forbid, seek it. A real man's man. He's gonna ride it out. It's fine. Mind your own business. The outburst makes him clutch his chest. It's nothing. Just got to cut back on coffee. Who's working your shift that night? No one. The booth has been unmanned since last Monday. He looks suddenly very old and tired. There's no other guard. It's just me. No one has been guarding the container yard since last Monday. Yes, he nods before hesitantly continuing. It's not actually an issue, I mean. Look, officer. His partner jumps in. The container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before. Rene, Mr. Clare had that booth built specifically for him. It's mostly decorative. So it doesn't matter if you're there or not. The possibility of someone being in there is enough to discourage any ill-minded individual, he tries to argue. Everett created this job for Rene because he knew the Royal Carabiners' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off of. A decorated Kingsman collecting tear reflects bad on the whole neighborhood. His words. Everett gets it, big guys looking after the small and everyone working together. I love it. Such dependency only weakens a man further. Do or die. There's no middle ground. Alright. Rene is but one man. We need a program. Gets all the elderly back in the job market. Keep folks motivated. Rene should rent out his services. Invest the profit. Get a few more guys. Expand and repeat. Wage work is dead end. There's absolutely nothing wrong with tear collecting. It's my side thing too. You guys looking after the small and everyone together. That is good. Sure. There's a grimace of pain on the old soldier's face. Looks like he wants to argue but can't find the words. Finally, his lips move. Can we conclude the topic of my guard booth now? Must have seen something on the night. Okay, we already talked about that. I saw a picture in there. Who's the girl? His features stiffen and he gets a cold look. She is nobody. This is none of your concern. I refuse to discuss my private affairs with RCM. The lady is Jean-Marie Bulot. Gaston speaks with a soft voice. She sure as hell wasn't a nobody. You must have... Oh, interesting. Got it. Thanks. Yes, like I said, he brings it up again. I would be up anyway, so might as well keep an eye out. It keeps senses sharp. Oh, I can re-roll that. Let's try. Success! As Renee turns from you to his partner and Mac, the metals on his chest rattle and glare. Keeps his spine straight and his rib cage lifted, displaying them proudly. How many metals are there? 2. The larger one is shaped like a cross, while the smaller metal resembles the sun. Look at the cross. The crowned head in front of the 2 crossed rifles. The metal hangs from a blue striped triangle. It is the Croix de Bravoure, Cross of Valor. The cross was the highest battlefield decoration in Suzerain's armed forces, awarded for exceptional bravery in the line of duty, service of King Frisel I. Look at the sun. A small blue star inside an orange sun it has words Valiance written below it. The setting sun was a decoration used to distinguish seasoned combat veterans in service of King Frisel I during the Revolution. Gets them for bravery. He interjects. That's what I was going to say, bravery. Not for killing babies, or not for raping, or for bravery. Bravery? Bravery. I'm sure, but I know this uniform's reputation. You were also wondering if I got these for raping women or killing babies. No, I really wasn't. I'm just asking, so did you... I don't know the reputation of anything. Don't even recognize the war. Sounds conversational. It's true. Son, we should never forget our past. Lots of mistakes were made back then. They were also lessons. His voice takes on a tutor-like quality. Getting those times means the mistakes were for nothing. That all those people died for nothing. Whoa, sounds like you're about to open the gates of a conversation. This man will literally talk your ear off if you let him. Wander off to memory lane. So what did you get the medals for? Sounds like there's a story there. I'd like to talk about something else right now. What did you get the medals for? For doing my duty in the heat of battle. For looking my mortality in the eye. Men like Gaston here hid in the bushes and shat themselves. He saved some Wadi princeling. Foolishly strolled into the front line in his gown of velvet and gold. Listen, Renee, I might want to hear the story later, but right now... Well, this sounds interesting. It was on the first months of the revolution here in Revachol. Can't remember how they said to say it. Unrest was spreading like wildfire. Marauders had taken most of the Koran and were getting really ambitious. King Frisel thought he could end it all in one decisive strike. The old carabinier runs his fingers over the large metal, sent his cousin Drysent to put an end to the unrest. Alas, the young Drysent was all piss and no vinegar, wearing a tunic of purple velvet and cockatoo feathers to battle. He spits. Even his rifle was gold-plated, shown from 5 clicks away. Can you imagine the asininity? Asininity? I don't know. He really despises that Drysent fellow. Purple velvet tunic, the lieutenant says thoughtfully. That isn't exactly camo. To keep the long and bloody story short, Drysent marched us against the partisans in Koran. And when I say marched, I mean made us walk into captured enemy territory single file like toy soldiers while he rode in front on his giant red stallion. The rebels were smart. They let us come real close before opening fire. Suffice to say, it was carnage. Must have been a bloodbath. Pretty damn clever indeed. Bastards. Slow shake your head. Must have been a bloodbath. A blood path. That's got to be a typo, right? I got shot in the left shoulder and went down. Just a flesh wound. but just as I turned over, the prince fell into the mud next to me. He was missing his lower jaw. Then his horse, driven mad by the noise and smell of gunpowder, stepped on my leg and shattered my knee past his right thigh. Okay, then what did you do? Shattered knee. Interesting. Actually, can we... really just giving you options to get out of here. Okay, then what did you do? I grabbed my sidearm and shot the beast in the head. Then everything went black. Captain Arnu, I can't say all those. The bane of horses. That's funny. When I came to, it was all over. He continues, ignoring his companion. It was just me and jawless Drysent, gurgling in the blood-soaked mud right next to me. Huh. The drink had taken numerous flesh wounds. The dink had taken numerous flesh wounds and lost a lot of blood, but despite missing his jaw, he seemed hesitant to die. Tougher than he looked, that one. That's no dink, that's a fighter. I'd give up, can't imagine living without my jaw. Touch your jaw. This would never happen to Johnny Law. Johnny Law, jaw pointed your jaw. My jaw is tight. Whew. Been through worse. None of these are good options. It's no dink, that's a fighter. Sure. So I grabbed the dink, he says with a stern look, and started crawling. Kept going until 59th Cavalry picked us up. Through some miracle we both survived, and jawless freak convinced Frizzell to give me a medal for not leaving him to die in his own blood. Pits and shit. He was the commanding officer, and I was on duty, just doing my job. Shouldn't hand out medals for that. He shakes his head. 13 months later, I received the Sun for distinguished service. It's not worth mentioning. Since he's downplaying it, he did a lot more than his duty, more than anyone's duty. It's in his spine, in his billowing breast, and untarnished self-worth. Why despise Dryzen so much? Because he was a dandy. He exclaims furiously. He had no business leading men or even being on the battlefield. All he was related. That's it. Royal blood alone doesn't make army commanders. He was stupid. He was a stupid kid, only interested in horses, hairstyles, and man-loving. He spits and 782. Royal Carabiniers are dead because of his incompetence. Whoa, man-loving. Is that even a word? It is not. Sounds like you're being modest, Renee. The old Carabinier stands quietly like a statue, his features motionless. What, Monsieur Modesty is not telling you is that he crawled over 7 kilometers before the cavalrymen found him in Drysent 2 days later, that was. And that even whilst crawling with a mangled, half-dead prince on his back, he still managed to murder 3 rebels on his way. Is that pride in his voice? It's deep down, but maybe even unbeknownst to the man himself, it's there. Hold on, you're just a little bit proud of Renee's heroics, aren't you? Quite impressive. It's men like Renee who made Revachol great once. I'm not impressed. All those heroics. Gotta play to win. Look after you first. It doesn't seem like a good moment to express an opinion. I don't want to risk it. Quite impressive. It's men like Renee who made Revachol great once. Maybe, but alas, bear in mind, officer, he points to the sun-shaped medal on Renee's chest. They don't hand these out for anyone with a service record. Don't hand these out for anyone with a service record. Oh no, you have to get shot. He nods eagerly, repeatedly. And you need to get your hands bloody too. Really bloody. Do not speak of what you know nothing about. Old Troon. He slams his heel of his boot in the ground. Duty is something you will never understand. Thanks for the story, Renee. His gaze wanders over the bay. There were many such stories in those days. Many such men too. True Revacholians. Men with backbone. Oh yes, Renee, yes. The jolly man nods meekly. Men were bigger, girls were prettier, and everyone was a fascia. Lord, please bring those days back if you can. I'm not getting into this with you again, he mumbles through the clenched teeth and turns to you. Officer, was there anything else? You should try to come up with a heroic story of your own to impress the old soldier. Threw his ball into the sea. Renee told you his war story. Now impress it with your heroics. No, I don't. I'm good. All right. So that's that. It's done, right? Confront the Hardy Boys. Done a lot of these. Yeah, ask Renee about the photo. Done. Alright, so we've got about 40 minutes left here. Thereabouts. Let's see, what else can we get into? I have $4 towards my, talk to Titus and establish authority. Find all the armor pieces. You want all the armor pieces. Deck yourself out in full metal, battle-hardened glory. Note, this might take a while, a long while. Getting the hangman's boots. To succeed, the boot body has to be down, autopsy has to be finished, and Kim has to be absent. You want to prove. This will be devilishly tricky, so don't beat yourself up if you manage to send the body to the processing without getting hold of the boots. To gain authority in Titus's eyes, for the investigation to advance, soften him up first, maybe investigate the crime scene or the body, look for a witness, get help from the union boss or the company rep, tie them to any other crimes. I don't know how to get all of the armor pieces. Kuno lied to you, return to confront him. Yeah, I can do that. I never realized the quest kind of had like these little parts up here that are useful. I have to go ask for help. Talk to Mignon about the armor. Told me you promised to sick the pigs on him. Said to thank you. Wasn't too keen on chasing down the armor anyway. Said to thank you. Kuno's a giver like that. He looks slightly confused. Look, suddenly all business. Kuno sent you to rough some people up. Kuno played you. That happened. Now you and Kuno should move on. Remember this, Kuno. Got Of course you're gonna remember. To discuss. Kuno, I found your shack. Found Kuno's secret door to Kuno's secret shack. It was closed for 5,000 years. Push the panels aside. Then what? He's trying to mess with you. The pig head, I found the plate covered with powdered residue. Know anything about it? It's with a tube of... It's with a pig head. Kuno decapitates pigs. It's weird. Trying to send a message, demo tape, some kind of musician. Big head, I liked it. Yeah, Kuno plays on snuff. Oh, no, that's terrible. That's where Kuno gets his daily hit of the electric Kuno Shazam. Kuno rides lightning. It's with a magnesolum. It's a vitamin. Don't you know anything? He looks at you like you just pointed at the sun. That's where it was. It's magnesium, right? Yep. Just magnesium. Don't mystify it. I've heard enough. Let's talk about your shack. Don't have anything to say to him. You're that magnesium, that's what you're lacking. The lack of magnesium has you slouched. I'll go plate. Magnesium level is fine. Discard the thought. Alright, so we talked to Kuno. Hangman's armor seems to be missing. Find out what happened. Kid throwing rocks at the body seems a good place to start. Did that. Alright, let's go back. Let's try to go. It's 1842. Let's go back to see if we can talk to Everart. Seems less fun. Don't really want to, but don't have a whole lot of choice. I don't know what these green orbs are. I think there was a failed check I had in here that I should be able to try again. I think it was like right here. These files. Locked. It's volition. Don't think I have volition. I'll have to remember that. It's a psyche check. Fair enough. This might be useful though. 10 cents. Oh, clock payphone. Already familiar. Cold touch. Plastic. Welcomes you as you pick up the handset. It's interesting. But does that say drugs raise a level cap? Do I have? I think I have drugs. Alright, let's go. Done a lot of... Wait, can you go down? Can't go down there. I tried to get in there and I couldn't. Right? Can I use the bolt cutters? Open the door. Attempt to turn the handle. The door seems mechanically locked. Dang it. I guess I need, like, industrial bolt cutters. Oh, that's blue. Oh. Interesting. So that's like a, that's the first thing I found. There's like a box I can't open. Ay, ay, ay. Alright. Let's go talk to him about getting the body down.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you're already sat on that chair.
We get the body down. I'm considering opening the door you asked me about. Perhaps it will come in handy. I'm told the Union is involved in the local drug trade. I've just finished investigating the local drug trade. He adjusts his glasses. You've got a lot of spirit. Clearing up the drug problem alongside this murder. I'll talk to the mayor and see if I can get you the key to the city. Now let's talk real business. Actually, Revitrol doesn't have a mayor. He refuses to discuss it further, probably just a small nuisance to him. Could you help me? Could you help me get the body down from the tree? You might have noticed there's that one hanging in the tree. Oh my, he smiles pleasantly. Don't take the question personally, but why would I agree to get involved in this matter? First declare the man was hanged with a cargo belt, a steel-reinforced cargo belt. It's safe to assume the Union had something to do with the murder. Besides, getting the body down would benefit all of us. It's a stain on the neighborhood. Also, I studied the footprints of the crime scene. Worker boots. Yeah, the belt thing. Say nothing. Worker boots. I can certainly see how having him up there might start affecting some real estate values. He licks his fat lips and smiles. But of course, all joking aside, I am going to help you. He picks up the handset, radio, and phone to his right, then clicks a button. John Luke, my boy, I'm sending 2 police officers down. They have a dead body and a tree problem they need help with. Namely, they need it to be taken down. And John, please take it easy with the race science. That's a yes to getting the body down, no to the race science. He hangs up and turns back to you. You can find Jacques Luc down at the gates. He turns back to you. He's the big, impressive one. You know, tattoos, muscles, ethnic looking. Can't miss him. Great guy. I met Joyce, the company representative. Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her. I'm very, very busy. You see, he adjusts the button. It's on his sleeve. I hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporate situation. Everyone is just pals here. Just pals, huh? We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez here. His smile widens. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her, because you and I are such good friends, and I'm helping you get that nasty body down from the tree, and with finding your lost gun. I'm not a jealous guy. What happened to the previous negotiator? Joyce said the previous union leader vanished under... What happened to the previous negotiator? What do you mean, Harry? The big man sounds annoyed. Nothing. I let him go. Made concessions for the company in previous negotiations. Why would you let an ally like that go? He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. He's down in size. God knows how long he's got left. Called him a midget. Harry, he exclaims, indignant. I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. What's this? Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're... Abruptly, he smiles and changes his tone. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals. It's weird. Joyce said previous union leader vanished under suspicious circumstances. Vanished? Harry, that woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it in here in time for the voting. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. The man frowns disapprovingly. When she got back, the whole thing was over. Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce. Funny, Joyce didn't mention casserole. Harry. He flicks his fingers. Don't fixate on the little matter. Maybe it was a rabbit stew or a hairdryer or an iron. The point is, her heart wasn't in it. Mine was. This particular brand of humor he has, it makes for a fine distraction. Why haven't you let her in to see you yet? If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would, and I don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator. Let's talk about something else. Of course, Harry, let me just assure you, worth the time. It's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss with this Joyce. It's a completely transparent organization. I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this, he makes an all-encompassing gesture, is secret. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. He looks around. Tell her about how overweight I am, how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Everard doesn't mind. It is rather inserting to tell people that things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now. It is rather interesting to tell people. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Let's talk about my lost gun. It's a container that's outside your office. My dear Harry, that there are literally millions of containers in the harbor. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them. There's something special about it. It was attached to the convulsant crane. Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. He says with fondest smiles, time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you. Smooth-talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should try convincing it. That's funny. Alright. Let's leave. See you soon, Debadar. Big man raises his hand in farewell. Just kidding, but not too much. Did he just finger gun me? He did. Right. Guess I could go try to smooth talk the crate shipping container. Come on. Let's navigate around. Rhetoric impossible. Persuade the door to open. Been in the world for 2 days. That's funny. Alright, let's give it a shot. I failed. Because getting physical wasn't an option. Why am I? Why are you what? The lieutenant started. Never mind. Lieutenant nods. Are you satisfied? Alright, fair enough. Alright. See a container you can't open? Equip the pry bar? So wait, it just said to equip the pry bar. There's no way that's it, right? That'd be... I feel really dumb if that was the solution. Let's see. Might as well. We're right here. It's literally a container. I feel like a pry bar is not going to get the job done. Yeah. Alright. So I guess the next... need to get the body down, and then I need to go investigate the tenements to see about the... see if I can find that witness. Is that guy, this guy I need to talk to? I think it's him. Alright. this is probably a good place to stop. It's right at time. So hope you guys had a good time. I think we are chipping away at this. We had some couple revelations there that I didn't quite expect. Didn't expect the Hardy Boys to just own up to killing the mercenary. A couple failures. Wish we could have got the body down without having to ask for help, but whatever. We will continue on the quest to uncover the murder and figure out how everything is connected. If you're watching this live and you want to check out any of the older episodes or any of the other streams that we've done, click on the YouTube link and I'll take you over there where they're all at. And if you're watching it on YouTube, feel free to check the description for a link over to Twitch, and you can always join us live. Hope you guys have a good evening. Thanks. Bye.